In the quiet suburban neighborhood of Hialeah, Florida, a chilling and unusual case begins to unfold. A woman named Olivia Adams is found dead under mysterious circumstances. It appears that Olivia was a victim of a snake bite, but what at first seemed like a tragic accident soon reveals itself to be a meticulously planned murder. Authorities are stunned when they learn that Ethan Harris, Olivia's husband, had researched venomous snakes extensively in the months leading up to the incident. This was no ordinary snakebite. It wasn't a random attack. The snake used to kill Olivia was deliberately placed in her room, and the marks on her body showed the bite was forced, not accidental.
On May 7th, 2020, Olivia's family is devastated as they discover her lifeless body. The police arrive at the scene and quickly assess the situation. Upon inspection, they find marks on Olivia's left hand, distinct, deep bite marks that resemble a spectacled cobra's fangs. The police are immediately alerted to the unusual nature of the case. A quick examination reveals that neurotoxin venom was responsible for Olivia's death. A neurotoxin known to be found in cobras was discovered in her body. The situation becomes more puzzling as the investigation continues, leading the police to Ethan Harris, Olivia's husband. He had been researching snakes online for months, his search history full of detailed studies on venomous snakes, particularly cobras. This strange interest in deadly reptiles raised immediate suspicions. The police dig deeper into Ethan's activities, and it becomes clear this wasn't a random snakebite. This was a deliberate murder. Ethan had sedated Olivia. He gave her sleeping pills, placing them in her juice, ensuring she would sleep deeply and not wake up when the snake was released into the room. But it wasn't just the act of releasing the snake that was shocking. It was the way it was forced to bite Olivia. Experts examining the snake's bite pattern discovered that it was forced to bite Olivia in a manner that wasn't typical for the species. The gap between the snake's fangs was unusually wide, indicating that the snake was coaxed into biting her, not attacking out of instinct or hunger. The crime scene itself raised several red flags. How did the cobra enter the room? Why did the snake bite Olivia and not Ethan when he was closer to the window? Why didn't the snake bite Ethan if it came through the open window? Yet Olivia was the one who was attacked. Ethan's motives start to come into focus. He wasn't just trying to escape from the pressures of his wife's medical conditions. He wanted money. He was financially burdened and wanted to get rid of Olivia in a way that would allow him to inherit her wealth. Ethan had access to Olivia's financial accounts and was aware that her death would make him the sole heir to her estate. But that wasn't all. He had bigger plans. He wanted a fresh start, free of the burden that Olivia's health and their marriage had placed on him. He even planned to remarry once he was freed from Olivia's presence. The investigation unfolds rapidly, and the evidence piles up. Ethan Harris is arrested and charged with the murder of his wife, Olivia Adams. During interrogation, Ethan initially denies any involvement. He claims that he had no reason to harm his wife, that they had been through rough patches, but he never imagined he would go to such lengths. However, as the police present the mounting evidence, his snake-related research, the search history, his contact with a snake charmer, Ethan's facade starts to crack. After days of questioning and further investigation, on July 12, 2020, Ethan finally confesses to the murder of Olivia. He admits to using the cobra to kill her, revealing how he had carefully planned her death, coaxed the snake into biting her, and staged it as a tragic accident. The trial of Ethan Harris attracts national attention. The case is one of the most bizarre and unusual in recent U.S. criminal history. Ethan's confession, along with the forensic evidence, seems irrefutable. DNA matching from the snake, the sleeping pills found in Olivia's system, and Ethan's suspicious behavior all lead to his conviction. However, the case also raises a critical question. How can a person be so cold, calculating, and cruel? The trial concludes in October 2021. Ethan Harris is sentenced to 17 years in prison. The court does not give him the death penalty, but instead, they choose to show leniency because of his young age and lack of prior criminal history. Though Ethan is locked away, Olivia's family is still reeling from the loss of their daughter. They fight for custody of Olivia's young son, who has now lost his mother. The case brings to light the emotional toll that Ethan's actions had on everyone in Olivia's life, including their child. Olivia's parents, devastated by the loss of their daughter, continue to seek justice. They argue that the sentence wasn't enough, that the loss of their daughter, especially in such a calculated and cruel manner, should have led to a harsher punishment. The case becomes part of police training, an example of how even the most unusual and rare methods of murder can occur. It also teaches police about the use of animals in murder cases, something that had never been seen before. The case of Olivia is one that will forever be remembered for its shocking nature. A murder so carefully planned and executed with such a deadly weapon, a cobra snake, and a husband's cold-blooded ambition. Ethan Harris's life is now spent in prison, while Olivia's family fights for their grandson's future, a future stolen by the greed of a man they once trusted. This case serves as a warning. No one is ever truly safe when greed and desperation take hold. Even the most bizarre crimes can happen when the dark side of human nature is allowed to run free.